Hello, girls. Today we're going to talk about AI ethics and bias. We will uncover what bias looks like in AI, why it matters, and how we can address it together. Let's get started. Before we talk about AI, let us define bias as a concept. Bias can be intentional or unintentional, like favoring one group over another without realizing it. Now imagine this is happening in AI systems. Here, bias means systematic errors or unfair discrimination in data, algorithms, or decisions. To make this tangible, we will look at real-world scenarios together. First of all, we have Amazon's AI recruitment system, which was discontinued in 2018 after it was discovered to systematically discriminate against women. The algorithm here learned from 10 years of male-dominated hiring patterns in the tech industry, leading it to downgrade resumes containing words like women. This demonstrates how historical hiring biases can become present in AI systems today. Another example is racial discrimination in healthcare. A healthcare algorithm used by hospitals across the US is less likely to flag Black patients for additional care despite them having the same severity of illness as white patients do. This systemic bias within the data could easily lead to life-threatening consequences. We also have language translation models, which have been observed to perpetuate gender stereotypes by associating certain professions with specific genders. For example, translation AI might default to he when translating words like doctor or CEO, and to she when translating words like teacher or nurse, even when the original language is gender neutral. These systems reinforce societal biases by automatically assigning masculine pronouns to high-status professions like architecture and business leadership, and feminine pronouns to caregiving roles such as being a therapist or a teacher. So, where does all of this leave us now? The consequences of bias in AI can be wide-reaching, affecting society at large. Bias in generative AI algorithms can reinforce existing societal beliefs of discrimination and unfair treatment of certain people. AI-generated content, including fake articles, can mislead the public and erode trust in reliable sources of information. So, let us together think of the causes of these biases. We first have data bias, which occurs when the dataset used to train an AI model is not representative of the broader population. It can result from sampling errors or underrepresentation of certain groups. We move on to algorithmic bias, which arises from the assumptions made during the algorithm development process. It can lead to models that systematically favor or penalize certain groups, even if the data used is balanced. Then we have confirmation bias, which happens when developers or models give undue weight to information that confirms pre-existing hypotheses, leading to a reinforcement of those hypotheses in model predictions or decisions. Then we have measurement bias. This specifically occurs when the tools or methods used to collect data introduce errors or inaccuracies. And last but not least, we have historical bias, which is a form of bias that stems from historical inequalities that are reflected in the training data. And this happens even if the AI system is designed to be neutral. So, now that we know where bias comes from, let's talk about who's responsible and how that responsibility works. But we have to know something. What is legal and what the law requires is not always fair, right, and just. For example, a hiring AI that follows anti-discrimination laws still mostly picks men over women because of its biased training data. So the responsibility here isn't only for coders, it is for developers, companies, regulators, and society. Developers must test for bias and document decisions. Companies need audits and clear reporting systems. And regulators need to set clear rules, such as the EU AI Act and the GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, which are both laws that protect personal data by requiring consent for data collection and giving individuals the right to access and delete their data. Last but not least, the users, or the society, should demand transparency and speak up. This starts with staying informed about how AI systems affect their daily lives and ends by reporting harmful or biased AI behavior to companies. We know by now that we can't just let algorithms run without oversight. This is where responsible AI principles come in. Responsible AI is about designing and using AI systems that put ethics at their core. First, we do bias audits. That means frequently testing AI systems to check if they treat certain groups unfairly. Like giving different results to men and women or to people from different backgrounds. If we find a problem here, we fix it before it causes harm. Second, we focus on transparency. That means documenting where our data comes from, how the model makes decisions, and what its limitations are. People should know what's going on inside the algorithm. For instance, a bank's AI explains each decision, like a loan being denied because income too low, good credit history, and high debt. This keeps record showing the people exactly how and why each decision was made. Third, we use inclusive data collection. This means making sure the data we train on actually represents the real world, not just one group of people. If the dataset is diverse, then AI is more likely to be fair. So we have the example here of self-driving cars. After realizing their training data mostly showed suburban roads on sunny days, a company actively collects footage from rural areas, rainstorms, and construction zones. And finally, we have interdisciplinary review teams. That's a fancy way of saying that we should get people from different backgrounds, such as engineers, social scientists, ethicists, even community representatives, to check the AI's design and impact. Different perspectives here help us catch problems others might miss. An effective breast cancer AI team includes doctors, ethicists, patients, advocates. They all discover the system works poorly for certain breast types and ensure doctors know about these limitations. By combining these steps, we can create AI that's not just smart, but also fair, transparent, and trustworthy. So that is all, and thank you for watching.